welcome to another exciting edition of English User TV. Hello and welcome to yet another exciting installment of English User TV. This week is episode 12, and this week we are going to be dealing with common mistakes in spoken English. So coming up in today's show, we have some examples of common mistakes and how to correct them. We have, of course, website of the week. We have the podcast of the week. And we have this week's to-do list. So, this week's show is brought to you by Fancorp English Solutions, communicating with the world. And now, without any further delay, let's move on into our first common mistakes. Okay, let's have a look at this first mistake. The first mistake that we have is, when did you arrive? When did you arrive? That would be the question that you get. When did you arrive? That could be a question that you are asked, very simply. When did you arrive? The common mistake is, I arrived today morning. Now, can you guess which is wrong? When did you arrive this morning? I arrived today morning. Well, actually, in English, today morning would be wrong. Yes, today is the wrong word. I arrived this morning. When did you arrive? I arrived this morning. And there are other examples of this. I arrived this afternoon. I arrived this evening. I arrived last night. Now, you could say I arrived tonight. I guess that's okay. I arrived tonight. If we are talking about the following morning, you can say I arrived last night, or I arrived tonight. Tonight. I should have written that one into the video script, but I didn't. So I arrived last night. I arrived this evening. I arrived this afternoon. Now, I didn't write in yesterday. I obviously must have been rushing when I wrote this. When will you arrive? Here's another example. When will you arrive? I will arrive today morning. Again, that's wrong. It should be I will arrive this morning. I will arrive this afternoon. I will arrive this evening. And I will arrive tonight. There we go. We finally have tonight. Now, of course, if we were talking about yesterday, let's have a look at that one again. Let's just go back. When will you arrive? No, that's the wrong one. Let's go back further. Let's have a look. When will you arrive? We got it again. Okay. When did you arrive? I arrived today morning. Wrong. I will arrive this morning. I arrived this afternoon. I arrived this evening. And I arrived last night. Now let's just take another look at this. When did you arrive? Now, if this is the next day, I arrived yesterday morning. I arrived yesterday afternoon. I arrived yesterday evening. Or I arrived last night. So when did you arrive? I arrived today morning. Wrong. When did you arrive? I arrived this morning, or arrived yesterday morning. I arrived this afternoon, or I arrived yesterday afternoon. I arrived this evening, or I arrived yesterday evening. I arrived last night, or I arrived last night. Okay, let's have a back at this one. When will you arrive? I will arrive today morning. Again, that is wrong. I will arrive this morning. I will arrive this afternoon. I will arrive this evening. I will arrive tonight. So we're talking about future tense. Now, what would happen if you were going to arrive tomorrow? Now, it's simple. I will arrive tomorrow morning. I will arrive tomorrow afternoon. I will arrive tomorrow evening. Or I will arrive tomorrow night. Tomorrow night. Not tomorrow tonight. Tomorrow night. When will you arrive? I will arrive tomorrow night. Okay, enough of that one. Let's just take a little short break. When we come back, we will have this week's website of the week. Okay, this week's website of the week is CNN. www.cnn.com. Why am I putting in CNN.com? Well, the simple reason is that, as I keep mentioning in this show, you really need to be doing some English every day. And there are many, many ways of doing some kind of English every day, but one of the best ways to do English is to actually read something in English every day. CNN is updated almost every 5 minutes. So, if you type into your web browser www.cnn.com, you'll be able to read any kind of news items that you wish. And later in today's show, I will show you an English tip of the week, and knowing CNN's website will come in very, very useful for you. Okay, right, so that's the website of the week for this week is www.cnn.com. Okay, let's move back into common mistakes number 2. Okay.